Battery Technology by Sunny Patel. A lithium-ion battery is a type of rechargeable battery in which lithium ions move from the negative electrode through an electrolyte to the positive electrode during discharge and back the other way when charging. These types of batteries use an intercalated lithium compound as the material at the positive electrode and typically graphite at the negative electrode. History of the lithium-ion battery. The lithium battery was proposed first by British chemist M. Stanley Whittingham. He started on the research that led to his breakthrough at Stanford University. Early in the 1970s, he discovered how to store lithium ions within the layers of a disulfide material. Whittingham used titanium 4 sulfide and lithium metal as the electrodes. However, this rechargeable lithium battery could never be made practical. Titanium disulfide was a very poor choice, since it has to be synthesized under completely sealed conditions, also being quite expensive. When exposed to air, titanium disulfide reacts to form hydrogen sulfide compounds, which have an unpleasant odor and are toxic to most animals. For this and other reasons, the development of Whittingham's lithium titanium disulfide battery was discontinued. So why lithium? Lithium is one of the least dense metals and has one of the highest reduction potentials of negative 3.04 volts. The pros of lithium-ion batteries are as follows. They allow for greater power in a small package, hence why phone batteries are small in size but hold a lot of energy. They provide higher voltage, which allows for a stronger current to power the devices, and they have a longer shelf life. The cons of lithium-ion batteries are as follows. They are typically expensive, especially the higher quality batteries and larger capacity ones. They are very delicate, which is why they have to be sealed and maintained properly. And they also have to pass many regulations and laws to get from one place to another.
So how do these lithium-ion batteries work? Simply put, a lithium-ion battery uses charged lithium particles to move electricity from one end of the battery to another. Batteries have a few main parts: the anode, the cathode, and a separator in between. The cathode is positive, the anode is negative, and on the left side there is lithium metal oxide, and on the right side there's graphite. The separator only allows for lithium ions to pass through. Electrons do not pass through the separator. So, we have lithium atoms in their stable state right here when bonded to an oxide, for example. When you hook it up to a charger, you're taking the electrons from that lithium atom and it becomes a lithium ion, and they go from left to right, from the cathode to the anode. So that is the direction of the electrons when hooked up to a charger, and the lithium atoms become lithium ions, which go towards the graphite. So they get stored in between the graphite, and the electrons go from left to right in towards the graphite. Now this is unstable because the lithium ion was an atom. It has become an ion now and no longer an atom when bonded to the oxygen. So when you take it off the charger and it starts discharging, electrons go from right to left from the anode into the cathode. So now you have electrons going this way when it's discharging, and then you have those lithium ions that were stored in between the graphite go towards the cathode, the left side, to become stable again when bonded to the oxygen. So that's pretty much how a lithium-ion battery works. The more cycles a battery has completed, the more it degrades, thus reducing its lifespan. The explanation for this comes from the chemical makeup of a lithium battery, as there is an array of chemical mechanisms by which these batteries degrade. One instance is the loss of mobile lithium ions in the battery. These are often lost through the side reactions that occur with the electrolyte to form compounds which trap free lithium, reducing the number of lithium ions that can shuttle between the electrodes. The loss of mobile ions reduces the maximum capacity that can be achieved by the battery. The battery lifetime can be diminished when the electrode structure is damaged. This can reduce the number of lithium ions the electrode can accept into its structure, depleting the battery capacity. So here's the iPhone 6s with the capacity of around 77% of its total max capacity of 1,690 milliamp hours, and the max that it holds now is 1,302 milliamp hours. So that is a decrease from the max that it can actually hold. And here are the charge cycles of 458 charge cycles. And you can see the temperature of the battery and the currents that discharge and the charger currents as well, and then the battery charge. So as going by my previous statement, the capacity of the battery does decrease. The more you use it, the more you charge it, the more the battery does discharge. The temperature also plays an effect, and a lot more that was stated before. Here is a completely discharged battery that came from this iPhone. It does not hold a charge anymore. The lithium ions are not mobile anymore due to that damaged electrode structure inside the battery. So this battery will not power on this phone at all, even though I have charged this for 2 hours plus. The phone will not turn on, so I had to replace the battery in this phone. So this battery is completely useless now. It does not work and can be safely recycled. Lithium-ion batteries work in charge cycles. You complete one charge cycle when you've used an amount that equals 100% of your battery's capacity, but not all from one charge. For instance, you might use 75% of your battery's capacity one day and then recharge it overnight. Then you use that 25% the next day. That will have a total of a discharge of 100%, and the 2 days will add up to one charge cycle. It could take several days to complete a cycle. So here, as you can see, on this Galaxy S8, I have 254 cycles with that much percent charged for a total of 171,165 milliamp hour total of charge on this Galaxy S8 with a battery health capacity of 96%. And here's the estimated capacity, 2,885 milliamp hours, and the design capacity of 3,000 milliamp hours. When you charge a battery, you're cramming a whole bunch of lithium ions into the anode, kind of like absorbing water into a sponge. When you use the battery, these ions flow to the cathode, generating electric current. Over time, by cramming the ions in and out of the cathode and the anode, you begin to damage that said sponge, so it can't hold as many ions anymore. Thus, your efficiency goes down, your battery capacity goes down, and your phone doesn't hold that charge for that long. As you can see, it's not a huge issue with this Galaxy S8, but the battery health is at 96%, thus showing that the design capacity is not the estimated capacity, or rather the estimated capacity is not the design capacity anymore. So essentially, the battery capacity has gone down. According to Samsung's website, it is best to keep your battery percentage somewhere between 30% and 90% most of the time. Charge it when it drops below 30 to 40% and unplug it before it hits 90 to 100%. Now, these batteries are a lot more optimized than the old batteries in smartphones in the beginning days. So here I have a CoolPad battery, which is not for this HTC, but this is the HTC battery. And as you can see, this battery is a little bit inflated, but you can see the scratch marks here from in and out of the phone here. But I'm just going to show you that a battery that is normal is completely flat and can slide in and out of the phone easily. With this battery, it has been overcharged and did not have that great technology of the circuitry that would stopped the battery from overcharging. Granted, it did have one of those chips, but it wasn't of high quality, so this phone ended up just sitting on the charger, and this battery just kept swelling up. And the battery, you have to force it in there for it to work. It is completely discharged, but it would not slide in and out how it usually used to do. It would slide in and out easily, but now it does not because it is swollen. So this is what happens when a battery overcharges, but that should not be an issue in today's standards and in today's batteries, according to the high circuitry and more modern and highly optimized circuitry within the battery. We use batteries in our everyday lives, whether it be a phone, a watch, a car, a remote, and more. They are essential to our wants and needs. These lithium-ion batteries are continuously improving over time, such as batteries getting larger in capacity to last quite a long time. Present-day lithium-ion batteries are highly optimized, operating for months to years. That's why our phones can last that long, with some expected to function for a lot longer. As for everything though, nothing lasts forever. Thus, batteries in all devices will eventually need to be replaced to bring your device back to full functionality.
If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, please leave them in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time.